Ageless Energy Radio. How to feel 22 at any age. Would you like to feel young and vibrant regardless of your age? Never have to call in sick again. Be laser focused and productive all day long. Stop feeling stressed out by your life. Stay calm and confident no matter what. Go to bed feeling peaceful and wake up energized? Ageless Energy is healing your self-generating energy systems through the renewal of your body, mind, and spirit for complete wellness without artificial stimulants or medication. Would you listen? Anyone who wants to feel young, ageless, and productive regardless of their years. Join your host, Dr. Chandler George, as we explore your mind, body, spirit to feel 22 at any age.
Hey, I'm Dr. Chandler George of Ageless Energy, how to feel 22 at any age. And oh my gosh, today I have my long-lost friend from high school, Darletta, who is now my Yogi master instructor or whatever, when I go into everything. Darletta, say hello.
Hi, how are you?
And Darletta, tell everyone about you a little bit, because even I don't really know what you've been up to the last 30-something years.
All right. Well, first, thank you for inviting me on. It's kind of exciting and scary all at the same time. So I did graduate with Chandler. We won't say when. It was a long time ago, but we were in a lot of the same classes, had a lot of fun. And so when a few years back, I saw him coming out of Talana, and he saw me. We were like, hey, this is a place that I teach yoga at. And so shortly thereafter, Chandler started coming to my class. So what I've been doing in that meantime is I've been married for almost 33 years to my husband, Kirk. We have 3 grown children, a son who's almost 30, a daughter who's almost 29, and then another daughter almost 21. So I stayed at home for quite a long time, and then I worked different jobs. I was a dog trainer. I worked at TU Electric for a long time. And I wanted to do something when Morgan was still in school that would allow me some freedom to still be able to be the mom and pick her up and do all the running around and still do something that I love. And I had been practicing yoga and mat Pilates at a particular gym, and I really liked it, and I decided I wanted to get certified. So 2008, I got certified in mat Pilates and yoga, and I've just kept going from there.
Kept going from there, and now you teach regularly at a fitness club here in the Westlake, Texas area, and they ought to all come to your classes, shouldn't they?
They should. I love yoga. I teach about 3 different places currently. Yoga is something I wish I'd have found literally when I was a new mom, for example, because it is a time for you to go for an hour and just get away from everything else. You're tuning in mind and body. When you're in that moment, staying present in the moment as you're listening to the cues and you're flowing through your asanas, then you're there in the moment. You can't be thinking about what you're doing next week. You can't be worried about what happened yesterday. You have to be present in the moment. So you're detached from the electronics, you're detached from the noise, and it's just you and your mat, and it is very rewarding. And then once you find the health benefits of it, then you start to realize the mind benefits of it. And then you start to crave that, and you keep coming back and keep coming back. And that's what I did as a student, and then that's what progressed me to be an instructor. Is I love it so much, I want to share it with as many people as I can so that everybody can feel that sense of mind-body relaxation and a sense of accomplishment and know that you're doing good things for your body in a healthy way. And then that leads you on to another path in your lifestyle, whether it's food choices or start a meditation practice or whatever the case may be.
And you do a great job. I've been in a lot of different types of classes and used to teach a lot of classes myself when I was younger. And I do a great job because on my end, what I see is you can't not think about anything else because it's too busy listening to, okay, what's Darletta going to tell me next? Because this is really hard to hold, and I can't do another one. My elbow's in this tight, and my hip is falling over, and I'm going to crash through that window to my right, and my head is so noisy, I can't do anything else but please tell me something else. And we're hanging on your every word, And you do a great job because you have a nice, soothing voice, and you talk us through, and you don't rush it. I tend to rush it, and you're just taking us through the calming. So I experience those benefits, as you're saying, of the calming and the oils at the end and the sound that you do and the music. And so that's the mental mindfulness part, if you will, that you're talking about, that you fell in love with. Is that right?
That's correct.
So more than the physical, it's mind and body. I realize it's both. It's somehow connected to the inner mind. Now, how does it do that? What do you think the secrets are there?
Well, part of it is the beauty for me of yoga is just how you were just kind of describing how you might feel in a class, and that equates to you're feeling a little bit stressful because I'm asking you to move through these postures. Maybe you feel off balance. Maybe, your hamstrings are really tight, whatever the case may be.
That's because I was doing spin class an hour before. I had a really good reason.
I know you do, and I appreciate that. So you come to my class to reap the benefits of both practices. So what it does is yoga, if you can stay in that moment, come up to that edge and go just a little bit over in that stressful moment by working through your breath. So your mind and body is calming in this moment that is stressful in this class. Then when you step out into the real world, it's going to help you with your other stressful situations. So, you can stay calm and relaxed, and you can realize that we can't control everything out there. I think our society, everybody likes to have some sense of control. And, we can't change the past. We can't predict the future or make something miraculously happen in the future. It's all right here, right now, in the present moment. If you come to yoga with that philosophy that I'm going to stay in the present moment, I'm going to let everything else go, this is beneficial to my mind and my body because the practice itself detoxifies your body. It brings fresh fluid to your brain. It gets the synovial fluid into all the joints, and it does all of that so that at the end of your practice, you spend that luxurious 5 or 10 minutes in Shavasana with the lavender scented oil and the towel so that your body can reap the benefits and your mind can be quiet and let that stillness come, and then you walk away with that feeling of accomplishment and relaxation. And if you can take that into your real world, even if it's, driving down the road and somebody cuts you off and you get mad and you want to speed up and get around them and do all those things like a lot of people will do, you stay right here, stay calm, breathe through it, relax, they let it go, they're in a hurry, let them go, I'm going to stay right here, do my thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you see it as a calming effect, which certainly works for me, being a little ADD. It has a calming effect on the anxiety of the world and brings it back. But I'm going to dig deeper and ask you kind of a challenging question as to some of the ways physiologically, they just call me a doctor, doesn't mean I am one, right? That I think it does in the body, but I want you to tell me and tell the audience. So synovial fluid, okay, that's one in the joints. Number two is the CSF, or cerebrospinal fluid, which I know when you do the block, so that's backward shoulder hold, and towards the end, that's cerebrospinal fluid, right? And then we have the lymphatic drainage aspect, which is another fluid in our body that we don't want so much of. And then, of course, not so much fluid, but oxygen. We have the breathing that controls all this through our lungs and the regulatory breathing that you teach. So out of those four things, which work in harmony, what do you think is the most important part and why?
The breathing. Because you can find that calm center, whether it's in yoga class through a difficult pose or it's, dealing with a stressful situation in the real world. That slow, steady breathing that we do in class that I cue people to do in through the nose and out through the nose, that contraction of the transverse abdominal muscle around your body actually stimulates the kidneys and adrenals. Mm-hmm. So that in itself, just breathing, that slow, steady, rhythmic yoga breath will detoxify and de-stress because it's releasing that cortisol and you're stimulating the adrenals and the kidneys, and so you're going to drink water and you're going to flush toxins out of your body and you're going to help reduce that stress. So just the breathing in itself, I use that type of breathing to actually go to sleep, because if I can relax my face, relax my jaw, and start to focus on that slow, steady inhale and exhale of my breath, then it quiets the mind. It's going to slow down your heart rate. You're going to come out of that fight or flight situation you might be in if it was, traffic or whatever the case is, and just come back to the center to breathe. So that's the benefit to the brain. And then you've got the benefit to the body as well, just by doing that breath.
So let's go deeper then on the oxygen then. So recently I got back from Vegas for the med spa conferences, and while there was a cool new oxygen device to help breathing from France that's here now in the United States, and now we put it in doctor's offices. So with all that being said, the chair puts you into zero gravity and puts pressure on your diaphragm behind you. And then using, fancy headphones and a fancy tablet device and a fancy chair, it walks you through cues, much like your voice, it may be your voice, as to what to do and how to breathe. And then it has a canella over the top that doesn't touch you, that gives you, depending on the licensing of the state and the regulatory body or whatever, 23% oxygen to 90% oxygen that is actually blowing, towards your nose. And they're teaching you multiple platforms, but the major one is 5 to 1, because we have 5 liters of space in our lungs for oxygen, and most of us are shallow breathers and just breathe like 1 liter. And what you're teaching basically is how to use the entire set of lungs, correct, which brings massive health benefits, mental benefits, and all the rest, right?
Correct, yes. Because in the West, we're all taught growing up, or at least I was, to hold your stomach in and tense your shoulders and breathe because you wanted to be in this tight posture and look strong and healthy, skinny, or whatever the case may be. But if you do that, then you don't allow your breath to move. So that's why people just breathe from the upper lobes of their lungs. And when they come to yoga, sometimes it's just getting them to get into that yoga breathing is the biggest hurdle. So, yeah, getting that oxygen exchange, getting rid of all the toxic gases, and everything that our bodies hang on to is tremendous. So that chair sounds fantastic.
Yes, I'll have to share more of the oxygen chair, but it actually has a name. I can't remember what it is. The difference is there's no real human being like yourself, so you lack that energy, and there's no team effort and group with which to share it with. And I think yoga has obviously a lot to do with the fact you have camaraderie and energy of the group, right?
Right. It does, and you start to tap into the like-mindedness of people around you. And even though it's this good, healthy energy, there should be no competition in yoga. Everybody comes to yoga from a different place in their life with different injuries, different anatomy. You know more than most of us, being a chiropractor, that, if we've peeled our skin off and our muscles off, our skeletal structure is not symmetrical. For instance, my left leg is shorter than my right. So that causes me to have to modify and do things different on one side of the body from the other. And so, if we can appreciate that of ourselves and then come to class and still have fun and be able to laugh. And as you can tell in my classes, I like for people to laugh. So I make it a point to make the class light, take the practice serious, but make the class light so that you can have fun and, again, walk away feeling good that you came to the class.
Well, I remember when I used to teach high impact aerobics water classes and sport classes. Now, this was when I was in college, so it's been quite a while. That also, you don't want to do anything that you're not benefiting from and having a lot of fun. I mean, what little they pay you isn't enough. It has to be the fact that you enjoy the people, you enjoy being in better shape and all the benefits. I know I did. I didn't make my first life that way. So I thought, hey, yoga's great, getting paid today here. So what a deal. So you're getting a lot out of it, too. And obviously, you become well-known and have a lot more friends. And so not that that's what you sought out, but it's a byproduct of it, right? When you're kind of famous inside the fitness centers. And that's fun, too.
Well, you may be giving me more credit than I think I have, but thank you. I don't know if I'm famous, but I do like to share yoga because I love to practice myself. I try to actually learn something about yoga every day. And, of course, with any certification, you have to continue with your CEUs. And so I always try to take something different. So I've done studies with Bikram, which is a fabulous power vinyasa yogi. And then I've studied with Leslie Kaminoff, a wonderful conference with him. And he was really into yoga anatomy and the breathing body and body work and stuff like that. So I want to continue to learn and then bring that to the class so that they can continue to learn too. Because yoga, like I said, it's that journey. And there's not an end point. There's not a destination.
So let me ask some questions. What do you think of Bikram yoga?
All right. So we're going on my personal opinions, right?
Yeah. No one's going to hold you to this.
Bikram yoga for me is not my favorite style of yoga. And again, because it's a preference, but I did not like being told when I could drink water. I did not like the aspect of competition in the class because that is the style of yoga that actually holds competitions. More importantly, I didn't care for only doing 26 poses ever. I understand the reason why he developed his program the way he did, and that is he was working in sequence with the body, and so he does 13 poses up and 13 poses down on the floor, and that's it, and it's a 2-minute shavasana, and you don't get that nice little lavender hand towel with the essential oil on it.
Oh, darn it.
Then you're done. Yeah, no, you don't get that. But some people really, really like it. It's very detoxifying because it's so hot and humid, and you do sweat out, all kinds of toxins from your body. You can get deeper into the poses with that warmer temperature. So it's a personal preference, and, for me, that's not the one that I would personally go to. I like a hot yoga. I like yoga by, his name is Bikram, and he's been a yogi for years. He grew up in it with his parents being yogis, and he studied with Bikram and Yangar and all these other big yogis in the world. And he developed this kind of yoga, and it's a little cooler. It's 90 degrees instead of 105. But it's a power class. You stay moving. It's more like the power class that I teach before the class that you take.
Which I'm not tough enough for that. I take the easy kindergarten version. Those are my words because that's kind of where I fit in at the moment. I've never done Bikram. I just had some good friends that had moved to L.A. like 15 years ago and spent the money and trained in Bikram. So I learned a lot about it, and my wife took it. But I wasn't tough enough to do that either, ever. So that's why you're educating us. So let me ask another question around this, and this happens in any business, and this hasn't been about you either. How much of the yogi masters and the different techniques, and specifically maybe even the Bikram, is just about money?
How much of it is about money? That's a good question. Are you referring, you mean how much is it?
Well, certifications are very expensive. The 26 poses are trademarks.
Right.
He's known to sue people the moment they spin off anything anywhere, which I don't blame him. It's how he makes his millions. But was yoga really meant to be that, or is that typical? Is that normal? What's your opinion?
Well, I do think you're correct in what you said. With him trademarking his practice, there's an ego to that in itself. And I don't think the true yogis and yoginis from, 5,000 years ago, that's not why they did yoga. Yoga was done for enlightenment. So they would go into the caves, and that's where Bikram got the, idea that it needed to be real hot in his room. So they would go into the cave, and they would practice, the asanas like we do. And after a certain length of time, after they felt like, their body was, literally like wrung out, like I've twisted, I've lengthened, I've stretched, I've moved all around. Now I can sit comfortably in meditation or, wait for some enlightenment to come to me. And that's the other part of yoga that isn't brought about a lot in a gym setting where we're at, mostly because of lack of time, is the meditation part. The time to quiet down and just be. And I do like to meditate, and one of the ways you could get started meditating, because it's really beneficial to your mind and your body, that's slowing down your breath, releasing tensions, being able just to be still, is I started doing some meditation through the books that I was reading that Bikram has written, and he's written a really good one, Journey into Power, that I'm actually rereading now for not the third time. And then he's got a little meditation practice in there, and then he's got one 40 Days to a Personal Revolution, and that's a fabulous book too. And then if you wanted something that was a little more tangible that you could pick up and start learning how to meditate on a really easy scale without it being intimidating, Deepak Chopra, who is pretty famous. Most people probably know who he is for many reasons. He's not only, trained in the West as a doctor, but he's also trained in yoga practices, meditation practices from the East. So he has a website, chopra.com, and it's just CHOPRA.com. And you can go on there and click on to register for 21 day free meditation. There's one actually going right now. It's called Desire and Destiny. I think now day 4, so you can still click on and catch up. And it's just 20 minutes long, and he speaks for a little bit. He gives you a mantra, a phrase. He's talking you through different, aspects of your life because it's 21 days. So he's talking about desire and destiny and where you want to be in your life. And then he gives you a mantra, something to meditate upon for about 12 minutes maybe. And then he rings the bell and you come out and go on with your day. So it's just maybe 20 minutes of time a day that, if you could give that to yourself, I've done several of them, and I think they're pretty fabulous and beneficial, and I encourage lots of people to do them, family, friends, and now you.
No, yeah, absolutely, and I will. That's something, like this podcast that you can easily do on your smartphone or a computer and learn from, and I think that's fabulous information. And I'm going to put you on the spot, too. Not should, I just will. I can't help it.
If you've known me for so long, you're going to do that.
It's just fun. Yeah, exactly. Well, later in the fall, probably the third week in October, I'm doing my first annual Ageless Energy Conference. We've been putting on conferences of my own for about 8 years. That'll be the first one for Ageless Energy, and I want Darletta to come teach yoga there. Yes, I'll have to pay her, but I want her to come and teach yoga there to the group, easy yoga, the kindergarten style, as part of all the stuff. And so you don't have to say yes now. I'm going to take the silence as a yes. So
I'm going to say yes. That sounds exciting.
It'll be fun. It'll be in the South Lake area, so it'll be close. But I think that should be a part of it. We kind of do some stuff that always I'd like to say that she kind of got the idea from us. It's just we weren't famous. But, Gwyneth Paltrow just started her first life balance type conferences, if you will. We came up with this program 17 years ago, the Bikram Ageless Energy program of mind, body, spirit, and how to heal your self-generated energy systems through this. But she has her shop in New York and LA where she sells different products and things with some fabulous names, and she puts on these seminars which will have 500 to 600 women primarily doing elation yoga, various sorts of things for hundreds to thousands of dollars a person just for a 2-day deal. Well, mine won't be that much. And the people here, we're just the same. We're just not on TV or the movies. I guess my point is there's a strong movement going on towards that, which really excites me, having been a chiropractor and raised by chiropractors, to see everyone going towards no vaccinations, going towards wellness, and going towards all the things that we were laughed at in school when we were young that was just people didn't do. And now people are paying big bucks just to learn about it. It's really quite fascinating. And so it's so much fun to have Darletta doing a part of this with me, a part of the movement. We can go down the same track with it. I think that's fun and exciting. And so anyway, support at catchfirecoaching.com for the Ageless Energy Conference. Anyone interested in that, please go there, and we'll give you some more information, the exact times and days, and the affordability of it. So Darletta, is there any other fabulous resources or ways we can get a hold of you or come to one of your classes if we're able?
Sure. You could come to the classes at Larry North Fitness. It's always up on the website. I teach 2 classes on Tuesday that are the regular vinyasa classes. I teach a mat Pilates, which is still a mind-body practice as well. It's a little bit more about the core. Doesn't have the asana practice, but I do offer a little 5-minute shavasana there too. And then the 2 classes on Saturdays are at Larry North Fitness as well. And you can come in as a guest pass to either Chandler or myself, and we could get you into class. And then if you wanted to email me, it's k9ladydkm@yahoo.com.
And that's the Larry Fitness at Westlake, Texas, right?
Yes, that is the one. Larry North Fitness at Solana is the actual name.
Larry North Fitness at Solana. Very good. And what were you going to say?
Just thank you for inviting me. This is exciting. I've kind of adopted a whole new lifestyle myself with the yoga, but I've gone even deeper into eating organic and trying to find every single item as non-GMO, because GMOs are wrecking our society. They're wrecking your body. And then I use essential oils too. So it's back to what you said, mind, body with the organic health aspect of it, to take care of ourselves, because this baby boom age, we've got to keep going. The best is yet to come, right?
Yeah, tomorrow I'll leave to Breckenridge, Colorado for 6 weeks, and I got mountains to climb and passes to ride up and show the 20-year-olds how it's done, and so the best is yet to come. But yeah, Ageless Energy How to Feel 22 is just of all the different ways that you can feel 22, which is that exuberant energy that we all have, whether we catch somebody laughing or like when you caught my leg cramping that day, which was so funny. But that's what makes a fun life, right? Stuff like that.
That's right.
And you feel 22 at any age, even though we're not 22. And so the health and wealth stuff with the Ageless Energy, that's part of what we were trying to go after. In fact, when we came up with the programs and everything 17 years ago, was you talked about the GMO. They called it just genetically modified. Back then, they didn't even have the acronym. And few people knew what it was, and that's part of the actual program that we teach in the corporate marketplace. Of course, now it's very common, so now we have to go much, much deeper than that to be cool and be stuff people don't know, right? Yeah, there's always stuff that helps we have to stay way ahead of. But yeah, the water and the air, I think, really is kind of polluted in Dallas today, and it's been a warm day, and I think the air we breathe affects us more than people realize wherever we are. I think the energy of the air, energetically, is something that people don't see because most of the things around us are so clinical. We think we have to have a clinical symptom, but truly it's beneath all that. And then the water, we say we're eating healthy, eating organic. I'm like, yeah, but are you taking a bath in high pH water or a shower, or are you just using the tap water? Oh, I'm using the tap water. I'm like, well, crap, then why are you drinking all the fancy water in the foods? Because your biggest organ is soaking up all the crap. And they're like, oh.
That is true.
They don't like me. But
we actually have a whole house filtration system on this house out where we live because the water was so bad we couldn't drink it. We weren't going to bathe in it. So before it even comes into the house, it's going through big, giant water filtration systems about 4 feet long, buried underground in front of the house. And
everybody, we want her address to be in the guest bedroom. They can start written out their guest bedroom. I mean, we all should be staying there. Now that you moved up to the country, you should have that healthy retreat and everything,
Yeah, I should. I should start doing that.
Yeah. Just thought I would help you along here.
Thanks,
about. And I'll come out there, too. I have selfish motivation. Place to get healthier. So we'll have to wrap up here due to time, but the goal is how many ways can we help other people find their balance of mind, body, spirit? And you do a great job with yoga and helping people find theirs. 30 different souls or whatever in a class that are finding it from different levels. And just through the month or 8 months or whatever it's been of watching you do that, I think you do a masterful job. And it's fun to see how we're both grown and come this direction, and that's what we hope for the clients and the people that you and I both know, is to watch their journey and see where they go on the other side. And so I thank you in helping our clients and the people here on the podcast reach their journey.
Thank you. And good luck to everybody. And like I say, baby steps, one step at a time.
Yeah, and when you come to class, do not get by me in the far corner. It's very dangerous. You want to go somewhere else, everybody. So I'm just saying, it's radioactive in that particular corner. So.
Chandler has his spot marked anyway. You couldn't.
Yeah. I'm like the dog. I got that spot marked. I tell the other ladies, please. You don't want to come here. You just do not. So, Darletta, thanks again, and I look forward to, when I come back, here in a few weeks. I'll be right back in the class and in my spot.